You ever have one of those mornings where you wake up feeling like today's the day your whole life is going to change? Yeah, well, that was me, standing there at this shiny, ridiculously fancy airport with the sun coming up so bright it was almost mocking me. You could see your own reflection in the floor. That's how clean it was. But I stood out like a sore thumb, old jeans, scuffed sneakers, hair pulled back the way I do when I need to get stuff done and don't care who's watching. My name's Iris, and at that exact moment, I swear I could feel the universe holding its breath, waiting to see if I'd crash or fly. And wouldn't you know it, before I could even catch my bearings, these two giant security guards come stomping over, blocking my way like a couple of linebackers. "Where do you think you're going?" The big one snaps, his eyes doing that up and down thing people do when they've already decided you don't belong. I didn't flinch. I dealt with worse. You know what I mean? "I'm here to meet Mr. Amir, the owner. That plane over there is mine." Now, I'm not stupid. I knew how that would sound coming out of my mouth. And right on cue, both of them started cackling, just laughing like I'd told the world's best joke. "A filthy black woman like you owns a jet? Dream on. Get out of here." Part of me wanted to scream, but I held it together, gave them that look that says I'm not here to play. "If you don't believe me, call him and ask." The second guy smirked, still lying. "Huh? You need to leave now, or we'll make you." That was the moment when I almost lost it. But then, from behind me, this deep, steady voice cut through all the noise. "What's going on here?" It was Amir himself, striding up with his wife, Julia, gliding along beside him in heels and a silk scarf like she'd just stepped off the cover of some magazine. Both guards just froze. Amir was the real deal, sharp suit, silver hair, eyes that didn't miss a thing. He looked at me, nodded with this warmth you don't see every day. "I'm sorry for the trouble, Iris," he said, really meaning it. "Let's get this sorted out before we finish the contract." Then, just like that, he turned to the guards and fired them on the spot. "You're both done. Leave, now." The way their faces changed, man, if looks could kill. They shuffled off, still shooting daggers at me, but I barely noticed. Because you see, I wasn't just some random woman on the tarmac. I was the founder of a black-owned aviation company, making waves in an industry where women like me were supposed to stay invisible. It hadn't been easy. I'd scraped and fought for every bit of respect, every contract. But my company had just built the most advanced private jet in the country, and this deal with Amir, owner of the biggest luxury airline in the region, was everything. Over the next few weeks, we worked late, hammering out every detail, going back and forth on design, upgrades, how this plane could change the game. Amir and I clicked, you know? There was a rhythm to our partnership, like we were both chasing the same impossible dream. But it started to get weird with his wife, Julia. She'd cut in on our conversations, watching me with these sharp eyes. One night, she blurted out, "You talk to her more than you talk to me." Amir just laughed, told her it was strictly business, invited her to join us so she could see for herself. I tried not to let it bother me. I had too much on the line. Then came the big day. The contract was signed, my company's logo shone on that beautiful, silver jet, and Amir, showman that he was, announced he'd be the first passenger on the test flight. "This is a new chapter for both of us," he told me, squeezing my shoulder. There was hope in his voice, and I actually let myself believe everything was going to be all right for once. I watched the jet take off, heart pounding, thinking this was it. My name was about to go down in history. But then, all hell broke loose. Not even 10 minutes after takeoff, there was this explosion that sounded like the end of the world. The plane came spinning down in a ball of fire. People started screaming. Julia was shrieking somewhere behind me. My feet wouldn't move. I just stared as everything I'd worked for burned right there on the runway. Julia spun around, wild-eyed, her grief twisted up with something way darker. She pointed at me, spit flying. "You killed him. Your garbage plane killed my husband." I couldn't say a word. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. And right there, with the whole world watching, I knew my dream had turned to ashes. After that, it was open season. The press, the haters online, people who'd always wanted to see me fail, everyone piled on. That's what you get for trusting a black-owned company. They called my work shoddy, accused me of cutting corners, said I'd only gotten this far by luck. I tried to keep the company afloat, But the threats and sabotage were nonstop. Suppliers dropped us, former partners bailed. My people were scared, and honestly, so was I. I shut the doors for a while, hoping to find a way through, but it just kept getting worse. One afternoon, I was running from a crowd throwing rotten eggs and bottles. Yeah, it got that bad, and I ducked down an alley I didn't recognize. I figured I'd catch my breath, but then I heard voices. Familiar ones. I peeked around the corner, and there they were, those same security guards Amir had fired, laughing it up like they'd just won the lottery. They didn't see me at first, but I caught the words clear as day. Finally got our revenge on that black woman. She deserved it. My mind started racing. Was all this my fault? Or, that's when I noticed someone else in the shadows, Julia. Gone was the grieving widow. She was calm, almost smug, passing them a suitcase stuffed with cash. Well done, she said, all ice. She'll be ruined. That filthy black woman's gonna lose everything. She'll be begging in the streets. One guard actually had the nerve to hesitate. You killed your husband just to get back at her? Wasn't there another way? Julia just laughed, this awful sound that didn't sound human. That old fool wouldn't stop praising her. If I didn't act, he'd leave me with nothing. Now I inherit everything, and she's finished. I was shaking, but I held my phone steady, recording every word. I knew right then that I finally had the evidence to clear my name. I went straight to the cops with it, no time to waste. The arrest was fast. Julia and those two guards didn't see it coming. In court, Julia lost her mind, screaming that Amir deserved what he got and that I should have been destroyed too. The jury didn't need much convincing after that tape. Julia got the death penalty. The guards got life. The whole country was glued to the coverage. When the judge finally turned to me and said, "You are exonerated," I swear I felt every last bit of pain leave my body. Word spread fast, and suddenly everyone wanted to support my company. Civil rights groups, new investors, even some of the folks who'd turned their backs before. We rebuilt, brick by brick, and this time, when my jet soared into the sky, it wasn't just my victory, it was for everyone who'd ever been told, "You can't." The crowd cheered, my people cried, and I just stood there, finally letting myself believe it. I did it. But you know how it goes. As the jet faded into the clouds, I caught myself wondering, how many others out there are still fighting to be seen, still getting blamed for things they didn't do, still rising every time someone tries to burn them down? Maybe justice isn't ever really finished. Maybe it's just something we have to keep fighting for, every single day. So let me ask you, when you see something like this, do you stand up or do you walk away? Tell me what you think. What would you have done? Because honestly, sometimes doing the right thing means risking everything. And yeah, sometimes the sky falls. But if you keep going, if you fight like hell, you just might rise higher than you ever thought possible.